And welcome to my brand new channel Creative Ways 11/7. I really hope we will have fun together here, and I really will try my best to speak in English. I'm Steffi and I'm from Germany, and in real life I have a full-time job in an elementary school. My hubby and I, we have 3 kids, 4, 6 and 10 years old, and we also have 4 cats. And that means we always have action at home. And I know I can't make a video every day or every week, but maybe you like my way of junk journaling from time to time. And I would be really happy if you subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment or a like. I actually wanted to start with a craft room tour video, but I'm just overwhelmed by your lovely comments, likes and messages about this cover that I showed on Instagram and Facebook this week. So we are starting with a completely different video than I had planned, but it's okay. Thank you so much. This is my 2024 journal, and I use it a little bit as a monthly diary with monthly prompts. I made 4 signatures, so I can use one signature for about 3 months, I think. Maybe we can create the April pages together. Just let me know in a comment if you are interested in. But now let's start with my, I call it, treasure of fabrics. I really fell in love with all of these fabrics. They are from different designers. For example, Janet Wecker-Frisch, a designer for Riley Blake. Some are from Marsha Dersch. Or here you can see some from Des Apter. I'm a great fan of him. And of course, I have many fabrics from Tim Holtz. And by making this video, I was thinking about a competition. Here's the challenge. If at some point in a few months or maybe years, I have 500 followers on Instagram and 500 followers on YouTube, then I will be giving away a package with a scrap of each fabric you can see here, so that you can use them to make your own cover. I'm excited because I currently have 2 followers on YouTube. Yay! Okay. But you don't have to be sad if you don't have any designer fabrics. Just have a look in your closet. I'm sure you'll find something that you no longer wear. Or you can use such fabric hankies or old bed linen. Or here you can see a fabric bag from a local store. I totally like it. And at the same store, I bought such fabric rolls. You can see them here. They were not expensive. I think they were 2 euros in Germany. And I really like them. Have a look, you can use everything. I also used such brads for the cover. But if you don't have that, maybe you have nails that you can trim, or you can also use buttons, for example. Buttons always look great, aren't they? Then I use such wooden numbers that I found in my stuff. And I absolutely love using bandages like that. I hope it's the right name for it. And also such mesh fabrics. But you have to be careful with the separate threads in it. And finally, I used one of those zippers. I've already done that on my knitting embroidering journal in another way, you can see here. Then you need glue. I took a cheap one and this one from Funkelkram. When I started with my journal, I created another cover first, and that wasn't a good idea. Then I connected all the different single pages with stripes of the fabrics, and for making this I was really inspired by Barbara from 49 Dragonflies. Check out her playlist for making a grungy vintage junk journal. You can also see that I use small fabric scraps for creating my pages, and I really love this way doing it. And now you can see my mistake. You know that the signatures are thinner at the beginning, even so I have already used thicker paper. And after you have filled your pages with all your ephemera stuff, they will be about twice as thick. And now my first cover was a bit too small. Maybe you like that way and then it's really okay, but I had a voice in my head always shouting, no, no, no. But at the end in Germany, we say Glück im Unglück. And this means blessing in disguise. At the beginning of making my new cover, I used a large Amazon envelope and cut off the edges on the left and the right. The final size was 39.5 centimeters to 22 centimeters, or 15.5 inches to 8.7 inches. I glued both sides together, and now the voice in my head is saying, yes, 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 it's better. And now my favorite part begins. For every current project I have a box containing all the paper and fabric scraps that I have already used. And then it's like doing a puzzle. I tear the fabrics into small and larger pieces and first just place them on the envelope. I like tearing more than cutting because it leaves the edges nicely frayed, and I really love this effect. It's done, the fabric puzzle is ready, and I like how it looks so much. It's actually the first time for me to work in such a colorful way, but all the colors fit my life so much at the moment, because every day somehow has a different color for me. And now the fiddly job begins. I mixed my glue with a little bit of water and then I glued on every fabric piece. I have to look closely because each one overlaps differently. And I don't want to make the frayed edges disappear. And now I need patience and time. And now the last piece of fabric has been glued on. In the end, it's funny with all the glue on my fingers. My kids always think my skin is coming off when I peel the glue off my fingers. And yes, at this point of making the cover, I already love it. And I always like to insert the signatures in between times and then to see what it looks like. Immediately afterwards, I also glued the inside of the cover. And for such larger pieces of fabric, I always apply glue to one side first to position the fabric correctly. Sorry for my wiggling camera. For this I use the same fabric as my first attempt. It's from Tim Holtz, and here you can see the correct name. After everything has dried overnight, I wanted more keywords on the front. You can see the first ones here. And therefore I used such word stamp. It's one of my favorite tools. A black ink pad from StazOn and stamped the words on white fabric scraps. Then I glued on everything that I showed you in the video at the beginning. It's a little bit tricky to glue on mesh fabric pieces, and therefore I place these pieces on the cover and then dab the glue on with a brush. When everything was dry, I used the running stitch from my sewing machine and went around the whole cover twice. And I also used the running stitch for circling the keywords. And then I definitely wanted to use these brads, but I didn't want to pierce them through the cover. And that's why I cut the ends off with my scissor, which wasn't difficult. And then I just need glue to fix them. Using these brads was also a good way to fix other small fabric scraps and also the threads from the sewing machine. And finally, I wanted a focal point on the spine of my journal, because I always imagine how it looks like when the journal is on my shelf. Therefore, I took my black zipper, opened it, turned around it, and finally cut off the ends. The final length was nearly 6 centimeters or 2.4 inches at the end. I only glued the top half of the small zipper so that it hangs loosely at the bottom. For all materials like the brads and the zipper, I used the junk journal glue from Funkelkram. At the end, I took my Craft Emotions wax paste in metallic gold. I used this because the brads were in a dark silver color and the zipper was in a dark golden color, and I didn't like the differences. I have a better feel for this wax paste when I use it with my fingers. And now you can briefly hear why I have to do a voiceover. Enjoy the voice of my little daughter asking me what I'm doing there.
Was machst du, Mama?
Mach Farbe rauf,
Warum machst du das mit den Fingern?
wenn das so Goldfarbe ist.
Und mit dem Braun? Mama? Mit dem Braun magst du nicht mit Finger, oder Mama? Goldfarbe können wir ja machen. Ja, die ist ja noch mini klein, Mama. Wo hast du die rausgenommen?
Yeah. This is so cute, but it's also the reason why I can't speak while making the video. I dab on the wax paste all over the cover. In the places where I glued the mesh fabrics, the glue dried clear but a bit glossy, and I don't really like it. Maybe I should have used matte Mod Podge, but now that's the way it is, and I just dab golden wax on it. And now my cover is actually finished. If you're interested in, we can design the monthly pages together, and at the end I'll show you how I sew in the signatures. I really hope you enjoyed my first video on YouTube, and I'm very, very excited to hear what you think about it and whether I'll continue with this channel. And don't forget the challenge if you maybe want to win a fabric scrap package. Thank you so much for all your comments and messages on Instagram and Facebook, and maybe we'll see us in 2 weeks, here on YouTube. Bye!